Okay, everybody, we are going to go and do a little bit of old school type of drafting here. I'm showing you exactly what we're going to be doing. This is a piece of white paper and the lights are on and it's pretty washed out, so don't worry about that. What you can see here is I have a representation of the walls of a house. I have the bottom chord of a roof rafter. I have the top chord on both sides of those. These are the actual pieces of the rafter, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how we're going to go about this. Now, this is the introduction part of the video. So I'm going to use a piece of black paper. The paper you're going to use, of course, at school is white. I have some other tools here. This is right here is what's called a T-square. You can probably figure out why it's the letter T, right? And I put some blue tape on it here just so you can see the edges of the T-square. Other than that, it's clear, and the ones you're going to use are clear. I have a piece of paper. This happens to be a black piece of paper for me, but you guys will be using, like I said, the white paper. I also have what's called a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. The reason for that is if I lay this down right here against the T-square, I can draw a line at 30 degrees. If I turn it this way, I can draw a line going 60 degrees. And of course, following along, I can do a 90. So this is called a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. I also have what's going to be the base for my model. This is just a tissue box. You can use a cereal box if you want, if you have one of those that you want to bring in, or something of that nature at home. Tissue box is just kind of a nice thing. I'm just looking for, something that's about as wide as this, and we'll go from there. Of course, I'm going to use white pencils. You'll use just regular lead pencils. But let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I have some blue painter's tape because I got to tape the paper down to the drawing board. So I'm going to set a couple things aside here, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. First of all, I'm going to rip off 4 pieces of the tape, and I'll put them up here. Probably you can't see where they are. Put a couple of them over here to the side because we got to do the lower ones too, the lower corners. All right, so I'm going to take my T-square, and you'll see me do this throughout this video, or the videos here, and I'm going to make sure that I pull this to the right. I'm left-handed. This is my left hand, and I am left-handed. I want the head of the T-square, that's what this is called. I want that on my dominant side. Now, if you're right-handed, let's see if I can get it set up so that you can see that. This is the edge of the board over here. You're going to actually orient the T-square. There we go. You're going to orient the T-square on the right-hand side of your drawing board, and you're going to bring your piece of paper over more towards the right-hand side than you are to the left. The reason I do this is most of my drawing work is going to happen over here, and if it's easy closer to the square, it's easier to keep it tight against the body of the drawing board. Okay, so other than that, everything else is going to be pretty much the same. So I'm going to put the T-square on the table here, and I'm going to bring it so that the bottom edge of it is against the bottom edge of my drawing board, just like this. And I'm going to bring my piece of paper over, and I'm going to I'm holding the T-square down, and I'm going to bring the piece of paper over so that there's about an inch of space on the left-hand side. Now, the first thing I'll do here, and you'll notice I put my forearm on the T-square to hold it down. I pushed it against first and then down. Then I just lay the paper down against it. Then I'm going to take my piece of tape, And I'm going to go right across the edge there. You probably can't see that. So I'll bring it down. So there's that corner. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Okay. So I've got my piece of paper is nice and flat. Now I'm going to take my T-square away. I'll move it off to the side here a little bit. And then I'm going to just take my hand. I'm going to rub down the paper until I get to the bottom. I'm just taking all the waviness out of the paper. Same thing on the opposite side. And I'm going to put that down. Okay? All right, good. Now, the piece of paper that you're going to use for this is 11 by 17. So it's 11 inches going this way, and it's 17 going this way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually measure off half of 11 inches. So half of 11 inches is 5.5. Oh, I'm sorry, half of 17. So 8.5 inches, and I'm just going to put a line right here. So I'm just going to put one line on there, and I'll take this and get it out of the way. Now, this is where my T-square is going to come in handy. Now, I could put my T-square down here and slide my 30, 60, 90 over to that line till I touch the line, and then draw my line vertically. I'm just dividing the paper in half is what I'm going to do here. Or I can take my T-square and put it up and then put my triangle on here, and you'll see my line is right here. I don't actually need this to go super high, so I'm just going to put my pencil on here, and I'm going to draw in this white line right there. Okay, so that's all I need to do for that right now is just find the center of the piece of paper. I can then take and bring the square down, and I'm going to put my pencil on the line here, and I'll bring my square over, and I'll just draw that line straight down. So the purpose of this line is to give me the center of the piece of paper. Okay, so that is setting up the drawing board with your piece of paper and putting a center line onto the paper.